Good evening. A lot to get to. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We do thank you for joining us. Want to start tonight with breaking news. A grass fire has burned more than 100 acres. It's all happening on East Kentucky Avenue and Road 102 near Woodland. Just look at this. Firefighters are calling it a dynamic fire that jumped containment lines. According to the fire department, it was started by a combine harvesting wheat.
Yeah, some dramatic images. So far, there are no reports of anyone hurt or structures burned. Also, no word yet on any evacuations. Stay with us for updates on air and online at ABC10.com. In the meantime, Monica, you're also tracking fire conditions right now. It's another warm day. What are you seeing?
Well, we're continuing to look at those winds coming in off the Pacific. Now, that is keeping humidity a little bit higher and below the threshold to have that red flag warning. But you can see with our winds at 20 miles per hour right along that I-80 line and spreading over towards the Woodland area as well as Esparto. That is going to make it tough for firefighters just to get that containment line really secure before it jumps things once again. In terms of temperatures, a little bit warmer than yesterday, but for all intents and purposes, really close to where we've been the past couple of days here. Readings are right now in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, a little warmer in Fairfield at 83 degrees this afternoon. We do have lighter winds compared to yesterday, but again, pretty close to where we usually are at this time of year. The other thing we were tracking yesterday at this time and we continue to track for today is a look at those Sierra thunderstorms popping up periodically throughout the afternoon. Just a little isolated cell off to the east of Bear Valley right now. So again, just some isolated activity up in the Sierra. Persistent pattern continues. Several lows just kind of migrating along the coast there, but under this ridge of high pressure, we'll track some heat that will continue in the outlook with our heat risk and cold water safety, as well as those gusty winds and the fire conditions, along with isolated thunderstorms. More on all that coming up.
Okay, Monica, thank you. Now at 5, Fix 50 is running behind schedule again. Caltrans says the project will now take a full year longer than expected.
ABC 10's Luke Clary joins us live from Highway 50 with why and what's still to come. Luke, a lot of people are impacted by this.
Yeah, well, Laura, Chris, I'm standing here on X Street between 27th and 28th, and as you can see, it's pretty slow going onto the on-ramp here onto Highway 50. This is one of the most heavily traveled stretches of road in the entire Sacramento area, and Caltrans has just pushed the finish line back once again.
The Fix 50 project is behind schedule and over budget. Caltrans now expects to finish in July 2026, a full year later than originally planned. For drivers, it's frustrating, but not shocking.
I would say I told you so, because they have been doing work, construction, barrels, you name it, detours, since I was probably in 8th grade.
It's a long drive, always on 50, and a lot of people think it's very dangerous.
Every time I get on it, there's chaos, there's confusion. They split the freeways and you don't know if I'm supposed to be over here on the left, over here on the right.
Caltrans says the delays began when crews began digging, discovering problems that weren't visible on paper.
But as soon as the crews started working on the project, they were able to see that there were some areas that needed deeper fixes, that needed more time to work on them.
The cost has also climbed from $483 million to more than $529 million. Funded mainly through SB1, the state's gas tax. Caltrans says most of the major work will be done this year. What's left in 2026? Landscaping, lighting, and a final touch-up.
Just to make sure that everything is okay and that it looks beautiful, right? That's going to be the final part of the project.
I guess it's going to be beautiful then. That'll be nice.
And so as you take this live look at cars slowly crawling back home through that rush hour traffic, for drivers frustrated by all of this, the end is in sight, but beware that ramp closures and lane changes will be coming through to the end of the year. Reporting live along Highway 50, Luke Clary, ABC 10.
Yeah, a lot of important information, Luke. We also want to let our viewers know that Caltrans is urging drivers to leave an extra 30 minutes early to help deal with the backups from that ongoing work. Keep us posted on the progress. Luke, thank you.
Well, it was a big day for the prosecution as they took the lead in questioning Carlos Dominguez in his own murder trial. The The former UC Davis student is accused of stabbing 2 men to death and injuring a woman in a series of stabbings in 2023. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias is live at the Yolo County Courthouse. And Roxanne, it was an emotional day in court.
It was, Chris, as the prosecution began to question Carlos Dominguez about stabbing one of the second victims, Karim Abu Najm, in the heart. Both of his parents were in the courtroom listening when they were speaking about this, and you could hear Karim's mother gasp and then start to cry. It was all eyes on Carlos Dominguez as jurors heard his testimony for a second day during his trial. After hours of questioning on Monday, the defense wrapped up its direct examination on Tuesday, with Dominguez recalling when he spoke with 2 detectives with the Davis Police Department.
What do you specifically remember talking about?
I just remember them telling me that I had stabbed 3 people and that I had killed 2 people and attempted to kill another.
The defense is arguing that Dominguez was suffering from untreated schizophrenia. Dominguez says he didn't realize he had stabbed real people until he was treated with medication at the Atascadero State Hospital.
I started to realize that the people that I thought were shadow shapeshifters that I had stabbed were actual people.
After about 30 minutes of direct examination, it was the prosecution's turn to cross-examine. And they wasted no time getting straight to the point.
You killed David Bro because you were angry, correct?
Are you asking if I remember that or if I accept that?
You killed him because you were angry, right?
I don't remember killing him.
Dominguez replied no to all the stabbings, and he says he does not remember any of them. The prosecution is now trying to prove that the former UC Davis student was angry about being kicked out of school and the breakup with his girlfriend. And that's why he began attacking people. They also questioned him about the day Davis police officers stopped him as he was headed home after going to a nearby Safeway with the knife inside a bag.
The reason we're talking to you right now is, are you aware of what's been going on in the city? The homicides and stuff?
The day ended early on Tuesday, with Dominguez finishing his testimony on the witness stand. Now, both the families of David Bro and Karim Abu Najm have been sitting in the courtroom each day this week, attentively listening to what both sides had to say. Now, the trial does take a break tomorrow, but will start back up on Thursday at 9:30 in the morning. I'm live in Woodland. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Okay, Roxanne, we thank you for that. And keep in mind, you can watch more testimony on the ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can also find more background on the case and previous testimony. The app is free to download on your TV.
A new program launched today aimed at collecting data on community pollution, street by street. Here are the details. The California Air Resources Board today introduced its statewide mobile monitoring initiative. It's a first of its kind effort to collect neighborhood level air pollution data in communities impacted by pollution. It aims to get a better understanding of what people are breathing.
It's an opportunity for us to kind of identify and also confirm emissions from sources that people are concerned about. So there may be things that maybe we're confirming things that we think are happening, but also we might be seeing things that we weren't expecting. And I think that's one of the real advantages of having this street by street look.
Specially equipped vehicles and mobile labs are now headed to 64 California communities. The data from the labs will be released to the public a year from now.